Today's Doodle, created by Phoenix City, Al-based Army veteran and guest artist Stephen Tett, celebrates Veterans Day in honor of the efforts and sacrifices made by members of the U.S. Armed Forces. The occasion first celebrated the end of the First World War, which concluded with a peace treaty that took effect at 11 on November 11, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The first Armistice Day was observed 1 year later before being declared an official federal holiday in 1938 and renamed Veterans Day in 1954. Many public buildings fly the American flag at half-mast, and some communities observe a moment of silence at 11 in remembrance of the moment when the armistice first took effect in 1918. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. If you or someone you know is a veteran in crisis, please reach out to the Veterans Crisis Line here or call 1-800-273-8255 and press 1. The Veterans Crisis Line is a free, confidential resource that's available to anyone, even if you're not registered with VA or enrolled in VA healthcare. The caring, qualified responders at the Veterans Crisis Line are specially trained and experienced in helping veterans of all ages and circumstances. Guest artist Q&A with Stephen Tett. Today's Doodle was illustrated by Phoenix City, Al-based guest artist Stephen Tett. Below, he shares his thoughts behind the making of this Doodle Q. What was your creative process for this Doodle artwork? Most of my research for this painting was on the dress codes of the different branches of the military. Army veteran, I am very familiar with Army dress codes, but I had to spend many hours learning the uniforms of the 5 other services: Air Force, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Getting it right is very important to me. I am an American realist painter, and I typically paint in oils. Although this was meant to be an acrylic painting, the perfectionist in me demanded that I do it in oil. Did you draw inspiration from anything in particular for this doodle? Are there specific elements of the artwork that have symbolic meaning? Patriotism comes in many forms. I was inspired by the veterans all around me. I come from a place where there's a strong veteran presence. So, I wanted to display the diversity of the American veteran, and how our lives as civilians are just as diverse. However, I primarily wanted to show the unity of the figures. I want them to be seen as one. Go behind the scenes of today's doodle painted by Stephen Tett, artist's son Stephen Tett Jr. and Stephen alongside his final doodle artwork photographed courtesy of Tracy Rogers, owner of Mastercraft Workshop LLC. Like, share and subscribe to Doodle Catalog.